What's up YouTube, Dan here and welcome to another episode of my AC Milan career mode series. So we're going to start today's episode with a game up against Genoa. I did rest a couple of my good players because there's a couple of key fixtures coming up, but I still expected to win because this is the San Siro and Genoa are a mid-table team. But this is a really nice move and it did become an own goal from Zapata there. Abietti and Zapata having a massive mix-up there. So that's just reminded me about bringing in new defenders. So my defence isn't very strong at the moment. I think conceding a lot of goals recently is partly down to my poor defending, and it's partly down to my poor defenders because I have Zapata, Mexes, Varane is the only strong defender, and I don't really like Zuma. He will be better when he's reached like the 80 mark, but Zuma for the moment isn't very good and he only comes on like once in a while, so Montari unlucky with the shot there. But what I'm thinking of doing is bringing in Ogbonna and Hummels. I did recently touch on this in my last episode, but Hummels and Ogbonna are my favourite centre-backs. One of them is quite strong, and that is obviously going to be Hummels, and Ogbonna's a pacey one who's still quite strong and has got really good tackling stats. So Traore got our 2-1 lead there with a nice shot there. Really big fan of Traore because he's quite strengthy. He's got good stamina, but he's only rated 74 or something, so he doesn't feature much in the team. But I do like his strength and he does hold up the ball really nicely. So we get through here, some nice skill there from Shaqiri, passing it to Montari, and he's never going to miss from there. So the veteran Montari scores there from in the 53rd minute, and that made it 3-1. So I just reminded me that this is in the cup, so if we win this we can go to the final and play Juventus. So if we do that there'll be a live commentary of the final, but we score a goal there. I did fast forward it because when I fast forward it there's obviously going to be a goal at the end. So just straight from kick-off, Pazzini goes up the pitch, some fantastic skill and then a really nice finesse shot past the goalkeeper, so that made it 4-1. The game was sealed and we were looking to go to the final, and we will earn a bit of money if we get to the final, so it's all good. So Immobile, I think that's how you say his name, don't actually know how to say his name, but he gets a goal back in the just before the end of the game. But again we get an injury here from Niang, and he's been a really it's not been a very good season for Niang, that's what I'm trying to say. So he's really young, his potential is really good, but he's getting injured too much and he's not featuring in the team much, and his pace has actually gone down. So he started the season with 85 acceleration, 80 sprint speed. I don't know what order that is, but it's 85 and 80, and he's gone down to a 79 and 83. So he's really going down, and he needs to feature more in the team, and that means not getting injured as much. So as you see there, Juventus beat Lazio 3-2 to go to the final, and there will be a live commentary, and that will be the last episode of this series. We've still got a bit of the season to go, but the last episode of this series, or this season, sorry, this series will go for at least 2 seasons, will be a game up against Juventus. I'm really looking forward to that. A live commentary, full match maybe, and you can decide in the comment section, do you want me to do the live match, or do you just want me to do highlights or extended highlights, and the whole game will take up about 6 minutes maybe. So leave that in the comment section below. So we've got another squad report here. I'm trying to do it every 1.5 months maybe. It's when I really remember. So Zuma's gone up to 74. Constant has actually really impressed me. He's gone up to 79. He's got quite good pace, but he is a really attacking minded left back. So Boateng's gone up to an 84, now worth 15.5 million. So Balotelli is worth 25.5 million and he's 84 rated. And then we have El Shaarawy, who I have no intention of selling. Is now an 84, and he's worth nearly 20 million, I think it was. So into a game up against Lazio now. This is going to be a really tough match, and considering they are near in the table, they are just 3 points behind us, so you're about to see in the league table. They are 3 points behind us, and they do have a game in hand, so we at least have to get a draw from this, so we don't fall behind Lazio before their game in hand. So this is going to be a really important match, and it's at the San Siro, so we've got to put in a good performance for the fans. And they do start the game with a really nice volley there. Don't know how he did that, but it was a good save from ter Stegen anyway. But what you're about to see from ter Stegen just ruled that out with a nice run there from Anazi, and he got past ter Stegen and headed it into the back of the net in the 28th minute to make it 1-0 to Lazio. So the worst possible start. Didn't have many chances in the first half, but you're going to see we did get a bit better from then on, and Boateng showing his strength and his pace, and a fantastic shot into the top right corner. That is one of my favourite goals I've scored this season. I might do a goal of the season at the end of the season because there's been a lot of good goals this season. Maybe not as good as the Bayern Munich goals I scored, I've kind of noticed that, but there's been a couple of good goals like that, like the Boateng goal you just saw, absolutely fantastic goal. So here you see Balotelli going through. Is it going to make it 2-1? No, he isn't. He hits the outside of the post, really unlucky there. And that was a really unlucky shot there, and he put enough power on it, but it just went onto the post. But here, some poor defending just left my defence wide open, and Ledesma scored a goal in the 81st minute to make it 2-1. So they could go level on points and they still have a game in hand. So I went ultra attackive, as you can see by the amount of gaps in defence. So I tried to get the defenders back, but another poor goal to concede. Closer's never going to miss from there with the finishing he has. and he made it 3-1, and we were never going to get back from this. We did manage to nearly get a goal here, but Abate was offside, so don't know if that was offside. Didn't manage to get a replay, but that was a really disappointing result there, 3-1, but it was mainly won in the last 10 minutes, so really disappointed with that and my defending at the moment. So we got a suspension over there. As you can see there, Mexes is back, which I don't really care about, and someone is back from injury. So into our monthly scouting report, and as I've said a lot, I really recommend Brazil, and I get two brothers here. I think they're both called Rios. Their surname are Rios, and they both have potential of over 90, which means they'll probably get to the 86, 87, maybe even to the 90s. So into a game up against Palermo now, and this is going to be the last game of the episode. They're a fantastic team on this game, mainly because of their striking force. So we're currently third in the table. Lazio, as I said, have got a game in hand, and they could go to 56 points if they win that game in hand. So I've got to hope for the best, and hopefully we can get a win here. So Verratti coming really close there, but we do get a corner from the end of this. Bojan going to take the corner. Is he going to put it into the box, into a nice position, and Varane is going to score it in the 5th minute. So a really good early start there. But one thing I have noticed, that I don't score many corners because Varane and Zapata, my normal first team defenders, aren't the best in the air. So if I do bring in Ogbonna and Hummels, there'll be a lot more corners, I guarantee that. So they get an instant reply there with Garcia. Fantastic goal. Like the way he took that. So Bojan with the shot here, near post OP. Didn't work that time, but if El Shaarawy was on the pitch, he probably would have scored that. Bojan isn't as good in front of goal. So I don't know how Mikli saved it. Mikli didn't score that, but ter Stegen got there, and a fantastic save there. But Verratti came straight back here, had a shot, fantastic save by the goalkeeper. And I really do recommend Verratti. He has really good stamina, really good tackling stats. Is the reason why I brought him into the team. But he does actually have a really good shot, as you saw from that highlight. So I really recommend him. He has a potential of around 86, 87, 88. So fantastic choice I made there. Really looking forward to using him in the future as he gets to the 80s. So Mikli does get a goal there. That's what a poacher does. Fantastic slide in there. And this game actually does turn into a really good game. So as you see here, it's just a couple of goals in this game. Not the best of games at the moment, but you're going to see in the last couple of minutes, definitely the 90th minute, it's absolutely amazing in this game. I couldn't believe it when I was playing it. So we're in the 64th minute here, and Boateng does score a nice goal there. So 65th minute, and he's got another one to his tally. He's scored around 10 goals this season, which I'm really impressed about, as he's been playing in centre mid for most of the season, but I have bumped him up or moved him up to the centre attacking midfield position. So Mikli does get another goal there, an instant reply again. Don't know what I was doing in defence, but a nice goal anyway. And in the 67th minute, he made it 3-3. So we're moving on a bit further here into the 89th minute. I brought on Shaqiri, and he scored a fantastic goal in the 89th minute. So you would have thought I would have won the game now, but my defending bit back here, and they did score a goal at the end of this. So what was going on with ter Stegen and Constant there, and they did capitalise on the mistake, and a nice goal there. Not a nice goal, but a really scrappy goal to concede there. So you would have thought again that was the end of it, but Boateng comes back. Is he going to score this chance? He goes past all the defenders, and a fantastic shot into the back of the net in the 90th minute to make it 5-4. So what an insane game this was. I might just release a full game just for you to see. So we have reached the end of the episode now. I'm trying to make these episodes a lot longer. This episode's gone on for about 8.5 minutes. So thanks for watching. Come and reach maybe 10 likes. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.